It's Big Suvie, obviously SuthieCast, as you've probably already gathered. Just to say thank you to everyone who's been watching and subscribing and sharing, and yeah, just a big thank you. There's going to be a change to the scheduling, you know, rapid. I've been putting out videos pretty much every day basically, so there's going to be a structure to it now. We're going to be putting out video Thursday and Sunday, so yeah, if you guys looking forward to the new podcast, we've got some great guests on. To say a big thank you to our sponsors, Court of the Blue Wizard, a brand new play-by-mail role-playing experience.
For what has seemed like a millennia, my loins have lusted for a sense of adventure. The allure of male fantasy brought me a sense of satisfaction. The romance, the swords, sorcery, and goblins. I lived a sheltered life, untouched by thou sweet maiden, a virgin of mine heart and crotch, forever doomed to an existence festering in the dank sweat of my mother's bosom. Touched by the perpetual light of vision, majesty, and testosterone, I awoke with newfound purpose. I had created the world of the Court of the Blue Wizard. My name is Michael James Spadgley, the creator of the masterpiece that has dominated the flaps of many a door. In my new play-by-mail role-playing game experience, you are but a sow in the fields of the peasant kingdom, dreaming of adventure, nights swaying to the beat of a humming skin flute, clashing with the gobbling hordes of Haranminfia, and even taking on the seamen of the White Waters, the illustrious foe. With over 700 presets to choose from, you can be a monk, a washer, loinsman, garden, buccaneer, swine hustler, man of sweat, black knight, skinned flutist, maiden, dandy, fancier, jester, hunchback, virgin, and gladiator. A real good side blood, Paul Huxley, Todd Morden. Fabulous, Mark Adams, Keith Lee. Love it, love it, love it, James Preston. A kingdom at war.
I sense mischief in the air. Pass me the skin flute.
Do you have the gall to heed the call of thy kingdom?
There's goblin round these parts. Keep your steel claw.
Act to us and receive all needed to pursue the Court of the Blue Wizard.
You don't get this shit on fucking Joe Rogan, do you? Yo. Right. So it's take 8, episode 8 of the SuthieCast. We're joined in the studio by Ty, formerly known as Radical. This is the second attempt. Sorry. We just had a bit of an error there. We didn't press record, so we've been talking for about 45 minutes.
I'd have been absolutely fucking fuming if it was like a 90-minute conversation. And you're just like, oh yeah, shit. yeah. No, but pleasure to be on, mate. It's it's been a while since I've had a proper convo on that.
Yeah, definitely, man. So yeah, cool. Thanks for coming on. We've got Tyty Package, formerly known as Radical. He is the front man for the acclaimed Bradford outfit, Ruptcha Farms. So yeah, what have you been up to, man?
Plodding along, man. You know.
I know you've already told me, but just give us a brief recap.
Just kind of actively working, man. I've been very busy for the past year, and fortunately, I've enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I live in Manchester now, so my Yorkshire house is parked in Lancashire. It's where I'm doing like my line of work, and since kind of like forming Ruptcha Farms, and I've kind of found a revitalized spark in kind of crafting music again. So yeah, man, it's been good. It's been kind of crafting along with Ruptcha Farms since their EP release, just getting better, trying to build in the studio on that.
Yeah, boy. So yeah, Ruptcha Farms, brilliant band. With Ruptcha Farms, you know, I can just see that passion that you have for it. You got the influence of old music like new metal. You got the contemporary lyrics, and it is exciting, and it's more. And one thing I just want to say, it's fun. It feels fun. There's not a lot of music out there these days that feels fun to me, especially local music. It's very much people, you know, chasing the tail of success. So it's great to see like people like yourself just enjoying themselves, you know.
Cheers, man. I appreciate that, mate. We were saying before, weren't we, that I think it's I asked the question, do you think it's because, you know, people want to skip the process and jump the gun to be that, I don't know, to get that viral song or to be the next big thing, and then they kind of forget that fun process of just, I don't know, getting it wrong, trial and error, finding your sound, you know, building flipping connections, networking with other MCs and or whatnot and other acts. I think that's probably a reason why. And like you said before, like people are in it for the wrong reasons, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I think with kind of the Ruptcha Farms, when I guess we're in our own lane. I guess of like alternative music, you know, we started off as a duo, myself and NGF, kind of rapper producer. Kind of just tried to see what we could come up with and that, and just kind of we winged it. Basically, we winged it. You know,
yeah, man.
Everything was winged. Yeah, we just winged it.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, and then we kind of did like alternative rap. And then further down the line, we did one song, and then we were like, you know, we love rock music. You know, we both have the same approach to music in that we just like to dual sound, test genres out. Let's combine stuff. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, and then we kind of went down the rock end of stuff, and it's been really sick for me to witness kind of myself and NGF kind of get better, you know, in our own craft, and kind of use each other to kind of like level up and stuff. That's been really cool. I think that was kind of the whole point of building the EP, to kind of see where we got to and have a baseline for ourselves. And then we brought Aidan along a couple of months after the EP release and became a band. So it's all happened quite quick, I think. But yeah, man, I'm glad that, you know, people like yourself have kind of really caught on and you're really enjoying what we're doing.
I like to think that you guys sort of sparked something in me, because it was back in February that went. Was it February? No, it was January. I came to see you guys with Big Cluso and Twin 2.
Yeah.
And it was the Monday after that I actually recorded my first song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, it's wicked. All right. I take pleasure thinking that I've played a part in that.
I think it was just like I was just stood there and like a bead of sweat just came into my mouth on the stage. I'm just like,
I'm about to say, watching my sweaty black ass on stage for like 30 minutes, just absolutely hammering out, and then you've just gone, hang on a minute. Got it. I've got it in there. But yeah, I mean, obviously you've built your own sound and you figured out your own craft. And we were saying before, weren't we, like how impressed I have been for like the output of material that you've been doing. But I guess that's kind of the fun side of the alternative side of music, right?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah.
You can all influence each other with your own kind of corner of music and going to kind of build things in that.
Yeah. It's the myth for me, like it's the mythos, it's the whole atmosphere and the legend. So I won't say a legend, but like just sort of like the fact that I'm wearing a mask is not for like to try and be like a gangster or you know. You don't want to intimidate folks, do you? No. No, what it is, it's just for like, it's just to put the content first. You know, no one wants to see my face anyway.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. I like that. And you know, I was thinking about this the other day. I wanted to, because I remember I asked you earlier on, was it a conscious effort to kind of put the material out first? Because usually when people start off rapping, you know, they go out and kind of do the groundwork of, you know, building, I don't know, the brand or the name and getting themselves out there first. But you kind of just like went in the dungeon straight away and just went, here's a tape, here's a mixtape, here's a mixtape. You've got, yeah. yeah. And I guess it's quite good in doing that because you've got stuff to reference to, right? Like, so the more stuff that you do, like the content that you're putting out with the podcast and other stuff that you might have planned, you're going to bring more people in, and then you'll be like, hang on a minute, I do this, check all this catalogue of work out already. So I like that, man. It's a cool way to do shit.
Yeah, it's cool. Thank you very much. Coming from an esteemed artist as yourself, a Bradford legend. How many years have you been rapping now?
Bradford legend. Thank you. I don't fucking know. I started putting projects out when I think the first project I put out was like 18. I'm 31 now, so that was quite a while. But don't get me wrong, like I've not not had a consistent output at all. You know, if anything, I am someone who kind of taps in and out of the game, and whatever reason that might be. But yeah, man, I think one of the things that I was always an MC and an artist, a part of the local scene and that, but I always had my own corner because I was always more focused on releasing like projects as opposed to getting out there and, you know, doing the freestyles and the ciphers and stuff. I didn't do that much of that. I always kind of just did my own kind of like concept of material and stuff, and which I'm not saying is better or anything, but that's kind of what I gravitate to more so. You know, I've always been big on songwriting and just making songs, and you know, I still carry that, you know, I like to carry that ego of an MC, you know, and always want to get better as an MC and a rapper, but I've always been in my corner of kind of writing my own songs and being kind of like withdrawn in my own fucking emo tendencies to write very vulnerable music, you know what I mean? So
yeah, boy, I think you're like me, like, you know, you like projects, you like putting out projects.
It stems, it definitely stems from just being a kid. I'm still that little kid where I'm really big on the album. It's fucking nerd shit. I love nothing more than like talking to a mate who brings up an artist, or finding someone on a timeline, or seeing a YouTube related video of a song that I've never heard of, and I'll click on it. I like it, then I'm instantly, first thing that I'll do is I'll go on Wikipedia and I'll look for the discography. And and then I want to get invested in that body of work. You know, I'm still that, and I think defo stems from being that kid where my every Christmas my dad would come, and part of the presents that he'd get me would be a stack of albums. So I'd run upstairs at my attic and just fucking rinse the CDs and stuff. So I've always been proper like big on the album. So that probably does influence the way that I go about making music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that why you kind of create how you've gone about making albums straight away? Is that the similar reasons?
No, it's just because I can't make one decent song, so I just make like 12 very mediocre ones. And then people listen to it and they think, "Oh, we're all right, I guess." Do you
know who's done? Do you know that independent rapper Russ? Is it?
Oh yeah, Russ. Yeah, Russell.
Yeah, and it tends to be. Yeah, he's really big on kind of. Well, he's a quite successful independent artist, but he always kind of shares his model of how he did it, and his was kind of similar. I think he did like I don't know how many albums it was. Well, fucking loads. He did like loads of albums and just put them out, then got popular, and then basically his audience had a ton of music to kind of like go to and stuff. So the model's not very popular, but it's shown to work. Do you know what I mean? What you do.
He did from December 2011 to August 2014. Russ released 11 albums and 87 singles consecutively, all free of charge. Shit. There you go.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's a lot of ground. That's a lot of groundwork, man.
It's nuts, man.
I think how many projects have I done? I think I've done two. I did two when I was younger, which I don't think you'll ever be able to find. I think it got lost in the MySpace era and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? So like, fuck knows.
I've heard a few of your like older songs on YouTube. I've done like a few dives before, and I found like Brame songs and like Radical from like 2002.
Yeah. And then, well, that's how we all came up. So have you heard of Waxworks?
Yeah.
So we're kind of like local Bradford studio, kind of a social enterprise where young people would kind of go record for next to nothing. And that alone kind of built a local scene. So me, JD, Brame, Panther, little Blazer from when he was like 12 to going onwards, you know what I mean? Loads of local MCs, and that kind of like, that was kind of like the center point to a lot of us and stuff. And that it helped a lot of people in terms of like building projects and getting used to making songs and stuff. They were the days, man. Yeah. I feel old.
I mean,
all this shit.
I mean, yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, these days, I guess it's more like, you know, people obviously they've got like the financial incentive to do, you know, music, to like bring people in for music, like video channels. But we're missing that sort of like, you know, like youth clubs You know, be where people can go, just record for free, have a laugh, you know, build the skills up. There's
kind of groundwork, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah. And it doesn't feel like groundwork because you're just in the moment having fucking fun as a you with your kid. I'm so glad that I've at least kind of went through that. Do you know what I mean? Like, kind of went through the mates where we'd all go to a youth club or a party and 10 MCs would have, I don't know, just all go in a corner and go, right, who's got 16s? you know what I mean? Like, who's got 16s? And then obviously the use of like Facebook, MySpace, we'd all put songs out, and that alone just helps network. And places like youth clubs and free studios that are offering kind of like next to nothing to be able to record, young people to record there. That kind of like builds that. And I don't think there's much of that anymore, obviously, with cuts and whatnot and all that. And, you know, there's no money getting kind of like come down to communities where they're able to provide that type of shit. It's kind of sad. But I will say this, it's far more accessible now for anyone to make music.
Yeah, look at me.
yeah. Yeah, you just saw me on stage, and then the Monday morning you became Suthie.
Fuck it, I can do it as well. Yeah. Inspired. Yeah,
but do you know what I mean? Like, it's a, I guess it's, I don't know if it's a pro and con. I don't even think it's a bad thing, but I know that anyone can be a rapper now. And I love that, because I think there should be an accessibility to bleed your shit and make music and have fun. But again, like we said, I think young people, because they want to chase that kind of next big thing, and they kind of forget the groundwork and the fun that kind of comes with it.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have anything like that in Keighley, to be fair.
No, I mean, I work. Do you mean just in terms of like youth services and whatnot, and opportunities to kind of make music and that? Yeah.
There were no place to sort of like sharpen your sword, so to speak. You know, that's why I'm sat here with a mask on at 8:45 at night, sweating my balls off. Yeah.
Well, you're never too late. Never too late to start. Never too late to start. To be fair, mate. Youth clubs were kind of they helped raise me. Do you know what I mean? So like I've been involved in youth services since like 8, 9 years old, and from the area that I'm from, you know, they were a big part of our childhood in terms of just kind of helping us facilitate our fucking growth and get us out of keep us out of fucking the shit as best as they can. Do you know what I mean? But I remember like, you know, inviting JD there when we were like 13 years old, and you know, all being a part of the youth services, and then going through the youth services through work, and then working with the youth services and running music sessions. And because I remember, because JD worked in Keighley years ago. I think it was a really nice studio as well. Do you remember? Do you know the name of a really nice studio in Keighley? I can't remember what it's called. I think it. I don't know if it was like next to a school, but anyway, it was really, really fucking nice. But we used to kind of get. Pardon?
Greenheads. I don't think I think of is. I know they had some shit down at Greenhead School, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I can't remember, but anyway, yeah, I remember JD kind of working in Keighley and trying to get people to come and record. And they had such good facilities, but kind of were just no. I guess there's never been much of a kind of like a music community, which is weird because there's an interesting music scene in Keighley, like DJs and, you know, some of the underground nights that go on, like, because a few of my mates, like older mates, DJ there, and there's like dub DJs. do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like, that's kind of a really weird scene, just Keighley.
It's a weird place, man.
Yeah, that it is. That it is. Yeah, it is a really strange place. It's Keighley, but Bradford has these kind of like odd places, don't they?
Oh yeah, some weird places in Bradford as well. Don't get me wrong. Pardon me.
One thing that I kind of miss, kind of living in BFD, kind of just I don't know. We don't celebrate the fact of how multicultural it is. Well, we do now in terms of trying to get culture of the city, and embracing kind of the services. But I think just as a people, we have loads of different cultures, but we're quite segregated in the community. You know what I mean? Like, it's quite segregated as Bradford. It's really strange. It's multicultural, but segregated in loads of areas. But I do enjoy the different areas that it has, and you know what I mean. I really enjoy. I do miss that in Bradford. It's a weird one.
As a charm to it, along with Keith, I think I'm very vocal and say I'm not a big fan of Leeds. You know,
you're not.
No.
Why? What should be for Leeds?
Just people. It's just like an extension of London.
Can't even speak. What an extension of London?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, do you know what? I don't know if I agree, because I live in Manchester, and that's kind of classed as the North London, right?
Is it?
Well, I guess in a sense of like, it's a big North metropolitan, like London. It's got a big city centre and then loads of outskirts and towns, and it's a big city. I don't know. I would think so. I would think people kind of associate Manchester, plus the prices. It's one of the more expensive cities in the north as well, is Manchester. I mean, I guess Leeds is similar, really.
Oh, it's too dear as Leeds, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you one beef that I do have with Leeds is when you go to another city and you'll speak to someone and they'll go, "Where are you from?" You go, "Oh, I'm from Bradford," and they'll go, "Oh, is that place next to Leeds?" Like, fuck
off.
Yeah. Fuck off. Yeah. But that's kind of, that's you either get that, don't you? You get Bradford's the place next to Leeds, or they do Bradford. Yeah, I know Bradford. They do really good curries there, don't you? That's it. It's kind of the two things that you get.
No, I get a lot of like people coming in like sending me like, I've had a few people like send me voicemails like, "Oh yeah, it's Kaylee Sutherland."
Oh.
Fuck you.
Fuck off. Yeah,
yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, man. I know obviously you want to talk a bit more. Well, I want to talk to you a bit more about what you do at the moment, like with your work and stuff. I know, from my understanding, that you do a lot of youth work. Am I right in saying?
No. So, came to Manchester, and I worked in like mental health in education, in the kind of education spaces when I was back in Bradford, and kind of youth work. So a bit of kind of like both. I moved to Manny to kind of do social work, not with the intention to go down social work, but I know it's quite a broad kind of degree where I can kind of venture in more stuff. And I ended up in mental health advocacy. So I do. So I provide mental health advocacy in psychiatric wards for those detained under the Mental Health Act.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, and I also do different branches of advocacy as well. Like basically, the company that I work for, the workplace that I work for, has an advocacy hub. So I do dabble in different areas, but I do that. And recently, we've had a pilot to deliver culturally appropriate advocacy for ethnic minorities. You know,
right?
So I'm a team leader in that, so I'm kind of like managing a really small team, kind of doing this pilot, kind of delivering cultural advocacy in the wards and in the community, in hope the kind of results that we get back will help to reform the Mental Health Act. So it's definitely quite a fulfilling moment, I guess, doing something where you think it could impact change. Kind of systemically, do you know what I mean? But I just hope it's not one of the cases where, you know, the government that we have at the moment, I just hope it's not one of them cases where, look what we've got here, can more be done in the Mental Health Act, and they'll just literally go, yeah, just dash it off the table and stuff. Because this is not, don't want to kind of get, in fact, no, I'm going to get into it, but it's not, this is common knowledge, you know, that throughout the years, it has shown there's been a disproportionate amount of ethnic minorities that have been detained and also misdiagnosed with schizophrenia and other psychiatric illnesses. So you've got to kind of ask why, and, you know, from an advocate standpoint, where we're able one of the reasons why is because they're not able to get the voices heard, and there's not enough culturally tailored support for these people. And when I mean culture, I don't just mean race, you know what I mean? That culture is a very wide thing.
Yeah.
There's not enough culturally tailored support for these people. And it could be down to, services overrun, which it is, the NHS is overrun, doesn't get funded. There's no bridges in terms of inpatient services to the community. So there's no kind of aftercare period where people can get the right support in the community, so they end up back in the hospital. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a lot of kind of different factors and stuff. So I guess this kind of like pilot that we're doing is a trial and error in terms of how can we best combat that and kind of provide support for these people, and then what data can we get to kind of be like, look, this is a really fucking big problem. This is an ongoing issue. We already know this, but can we not reform the mental health act? So, so yeah.
Yeah, it's something that is quite close to home with me personally, like that kind of stuff. Obviously knowing a lot of people with mental health issues and having them myself, it's important. It's important. It's a very important thing. I don't get the impression that it's fully taken seriously. Like,
Oh yeah. I mean, what do you mean on kind of a systemic?
Yeah.
Kind of yeah. I mean, it's one of them really where I think the topic of mental health, I think it's definitely achieved in being talked about more.
Oh yeah,
definitely over the years. You know what I mean? It's fucking everywhere.
Even SuthieCast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And on a micro level, it's being discussed and people are advocating it, and they're finding a sense of belonging in seeing that everybody's going through the same shit, especially over the last few years, and it's even been more further impacted because of the pandemic and whatnot. But then it's just a question of like, is it ever going to be acknowledged to the point where it's going to be treated as seriously as it should be, and it's going to be funded as seriously as it should be? Is it going to be funded by the right people? These people aware of kind of what's going on. It's sad to kind of think that, I'm not very optimistic of that at all. I'm not at all.
I think once like the next, I don't know, like if for me personally, and obviously this is just this is the views of me personally. I think it's a generational thing as well. I think,
right.
I think there's been a lot of people from previous generations had misconceptions about it, and it's still sort of bled through.
Yeah.
And I think given a couple of 100 years,
even
150 years, maybe 200 years is a bit extreme, but maybe 50 years and it'll be talked about in schools. It's still a stigma. Like, it's still a stigma to talk about it. Like, people sort of like, look at you funny when you mention it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with kind of the generational thing, I think it's always still going to be there because they're still here, and it's still making that change. But I do think the conversation of mental health is out there. It's a bit more open now, but there's also that kind of stiff upper lip attitude towards it, especially England, because I think we have that kind of British pride where that's how we should do stuff. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They kind of have that kind of stubbornness to us. Quite stubborn people, aren't we? Like, British people.
Very stubborn, yeah. We're very set in our ways.
Yeah. Really are set in our ways, and I think we struggle with change. So hopefully it still change. Hopefully the change still comes. I do think the opportunity is there. From kind of a micro level, I think we all have a more understanding of mental health in whole. I think it's just they need support from the state. They need support from the state. How many amazing charities and social enterprises are out there like doing the groundwork of trying to provide, mental health support for people in general, the NHS and stuff, and they're just not backed at all. And then when the statistics come out of the people that have been neglected, the government then blame local authorities and social enterprises for not doing the job.
Not doing the job,
Just this really shit cycle, mate, of like there's just no solution, even though we know the solution, even though we know what's to be done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think coming up, I had very little knowledge of mental health, and I think if I did have that knowledge and that understanding, things might have been a bit different for me.
Yeah, I think everything starts with education, right? I think. Oh yeah. Education and that openness to discuss and that willingness to understand. It all comes with to do that. Yeah, there has to be an area of humility from someone to be able to have that, to be able to put their walls down and to understand and speak to someone about their issues. And it starts small. I think that's how it starts. It starts small, trying to be able to understand where people are coming from, admitting when you don't know when you don't know something. And again, you mentioned the generational thing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that does come from a lack of understanding, because back in their day, they didn't, none of this was spoke about. So I think it does take that kind of meeting halfway to be able to discuss these matters and shit, But yeah, I think I hate the idea where people throw solutions out but don't provide education in it. You want people to be able to self-advocate for themselves and to have an awareness of their mental health matters and know where to look for education. It shouldn't just be a matter of, you want to get better, just do that. You want to get better, just do that. How? How do I do this? Who do I go to see? Point me in the right direction to speak to. There's none of that, because, there's not enough services and not enough availability for people to access, because there's no fucking money being funded to.
Fucking bastards.
Yeah. Tight cunt. Yeah.
That's fucking tight cunts. Yeah. So man, it's been a very interesting conversation so far, Ty.
Yeah.
I mean, last time we were on about fucking Slappy the Seal, Flubber, and now we're on the shortcomings of the mental health sector. Would you call it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess it's always been. I'm quite fortunate enough where I'm able to speak about these things because it's in my craft of work, right? And I guess I've learned about it over the years and stuff. But I mean, it all stemmed from kind of being younger and going through my own mental health issues, and luckily having music to be able to help me navigate and articulate myself in that shit. And then growing to have an understanding of my conditions, because I have mental health conditions, you know what I mean? So, which I'm quite open about. So it all stems from somewhere. I guess I'm just lucky enough to be able to talk about it in a way because I do it for a living. So
take a flight. Sorry. What's it called? So talk to me, man. What do you do? Like, do you watch a lot of YouTube?
Yeah, I go down my old YouTube wormholes, man. To be fair, it's usually I do listen to podcasts quite a bit. Yeah, I listen to podcasts, and you don't even listen to yours.
No.
You listen to you don't even know why you're doing this.
No idea, mate. Yeah. No. If I wouldn't recommend. Have you ever seen that podcast? Well, it's not really a podcast, but it's called Soft White Underbelly. It's on YouTube.
No. Who does that?
It's an American guy, really interesting. He basically he has I don't know if it's like a makeshift studio in a van, or he goes around and he interviews drug addicts in America, homeless people,
really?
pimps, prostitutes, strippers.
Kind of like the oppressive side of society, kind of like I guess they're the more hidden side of society in the podcast area, because I can't imagine there's a lot of podcasts that'll go to that audience. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Podcasts about strippers on crack.
Yeah. I'll have a check. I like listening to. I don't know. It's as much as everyone loves to fucking have an opinion and everything, and no one knows when to shut the fuck up. I do like listening to podcasts at times. It's right. Usually podcasts or live concerts or freestyles or music videos that I kind of watch. It's not the most entertaining thing.
Yeah, I watch a couple. I watch Steve O. I used to watch Joe Rogan, but he's a twat. What's it called? Who else to listen to?
Steve O's podcast is good. I like Steve O's podcast, yeah.
Steve O.
Yeah. I like to watch Mike Tyson's pod.
Mike Tyson? Yeah, he's that's quality, man. Hot boxing with Big Mike. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, he's a really good good example of someone who's just kind of just life experience of like knowledge. Do you know what I mean? Whose knowledge comes from just life experience. And I always like, he's not a theorist. You know what I mean? Don't like listening to like podcasts where they're just regurgitating fucking written shit.
Yeah.
He has a really good fucking wit about him because of lived experience. Do you know what I mean? That's cool. I like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's a G.
Did you see when he had Lil Boozy on?
Oh God, that dick. I'm not a big Lil Boozy fan, man. To be honest, I love how outspoken he is, but I'm not a big fan of him.
Nah, man, he's you need to watch. If you've not seen that guy, you need to watch it. It's pretty intense. Did you see him, Mike Tyson, beating up that? I'd say beating up. He was giving a few punches to that guy on the plane. Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I watched it and I was just like, well, yeah. I think it's that we live in a time now and a landscape now where people will do anything, you know, for that look, not even thinking of the potential consequence.
It's fucking Mike Tyson.
So imagine. So for people that haven't watched it, just watch it. It's just this guy kind of, Mike Tyson's in front of him in a plane. And he's like, this guy's like, this dickhead's looking at a phone. And he's doing like, oh, look, it's Mike Tyson in front of me and stuff. And then it's like, just basically just kind of irritating Mike Tyson, thinking that if you do it long enough, like nothing's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? This is the guy who has tasted human flesh off the person. This is the man that has dined on earlobe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like he has dined on earlobe. Why do you think like intimidating him on a really close space like a plane is going to go down well? So then, yeah, Mike Tyson kind of like just jumps up and then just starts beating shit out of him. Really, just like.
Well, I don't know, man. Like when I first saw it, it said, Mike Tyson beat the shit out of a passenger. But trust me, if Mike Tyson beat the shit out of that guy, he wouldn't have a little scratch there. Oh yeah,
it was definitely 30% beating, which is 30. His 30% is our 90. Do you know what I mean? So like,
bam, bam. Yeah.
So yeah, I've seen that. That's piss funny. And it's just like, what the fuck do you expect me? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Seen Aliens?
Pardon?
Sorry, man. Have you seen Aliens?
The film?
Just in general, man. Like,
what do I think? Have I seen Aliens?
Yeah. No.
What do I think about Aliens?
What's Ty's theory on Aliens?
I don't know. Is it like, what is it? Is it? I don't know the number. Is it like 4 billion recorded miles of space or something daft like that? I if I've quoted wrong, people, fuck you. But like, yeah, something like that. 4 billion light years and fucking millions of miles recorded. You have to be pretty fucking naive to think that we're on our own.
Do you think aliens have come to Earth at any point?
Why would they? Shit.
Yeah, exactly. 28 billion light years.
Imagine landing in England and just going, do you know what? Don't fancy it.
Nah.
Just fucking off again. Oh, they probably came in and just went, I wonder what food England has.
Shit!
Black pudding. just fucks back off. No, but I think, yeah, I believe. I don't know whether it's kind of the go-to green, big-headed figures that we drew in school. I don't know if it's that alien.
Yeah,
I'd say I'm a believer, I guess.
Like you said, I've never seen an alien. But yeah, like I said, 28 billion, is it 28 billions? 28 billion light years in diameter.
Right, yeah.
It is very far.
Are we on our own? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think when you get people that go, oh, fuck, I don't believe in aliens. I think because they instantly think of the stereotypical alien that kind of portrayed through. We're not on about, mate, we're not on about like Sigourney Weaver gun blazing aliens in like a cave. We're not on about that. Saying, do you think there's something else out there? But yeah, I think so, mate.
Yeah.
To be fair, when I'm smashed or on the sesh, we're a breed of alien anyway.
I like it.
See, yeah, you've got to think that way.
Yeah, man.
What's your view? So have you always been a big alien fan then?
Not really, no. I just like to ask people this question because it sort of brings out a similar response. People have their own ideas and stuff. I
wonder if there's. I don't know. I'd like to think. Yeah, I'd like to think there's someone. For a start, I want there to be someone far more intelligent than us, because we're twats, aren't we?
Idiots.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Humans are twats. I love humans. I love the human species and that. Don't get me wrong. But we are twats. We are twats.
I prefer animals, to be fair.
Yeah. A lot of people do, to be honest. What's your favourite animal?
I really don't know, to be fair. I like grouse.
I like the grouse. I'm a big fan of the grouse. I'm a big fan of the grouse.
3 words. Can you guess what 3 words they are?
Grouse, spirit animal.
No. Wash your rice.
Yes.
Wash your rice.
Wash your damn rice.
Yeah.
Wash your damn rice. Yeah, so people are probably listening to this going, what the fuck are they on about?
Yeah. I think it's got a deeper meaning to it, wash your rice, because, it's about not taking the easy route. It's about putting that little bit more time into it, that a little bit more attention, and getting the better product. Yes.
Behind every twatty Tyler status, there's some deeper. There's not. No, that. The way I see it, right, we're in this kind of landscape, especially social media. Everyone has a right to opinion. But is your opinion required? Most of the time, no. No one knows when to shut the fuck up, right? So, like, if you end up being, I don't know, in the midst of a really annoying discussion with someone who just won't shut the fuck up, just ask them before you engage, do you wash your rice? If they say no, what's the point? Why engage with someone that don't take the time rinsing their grains, fucking go on a computer and look for someone to piss off? Don't waste your time on that. Don't waste your time on folks like that, people.
Fuck up.
Why do that? Just like, so whenever you see someone comment on you just trying to be a twat, just go, do you wash your rice? Just say that. Do you wash your rice?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where the deeper meaning lies.
I like it. That's brilliant, man.
Yes. One must never neglect rinsing the grain.
Wash your rice.
Wash your damn rice. Wash your rice.
Wash your rice.
Might get t-shirts saying that. Wash
your rice. Yeah, I think it's an important message, man.
It is an important message, man. It's hopefully we can spread the word, Suthie, and it can be a movement.
What did he call me?
Suthie.
Yeah.
Suthie.
Get it right.
Big Suthie. All right. Big Suthie. Right. But yeah, wash your rice has to be. It has to be a movement. I'll tell you what's funny though, because when I started posting it on like just, I don't know, social media, just having a bit of a twatty laugh, I had like 2 weeks of people like messaging me, like pictures of like the sieve. Sieve and like the grain, and then people saying, "Oh, we're about to make some rice," and then I've just heard your voice saying "wash your rice" in my ear. So it's good. It's nice to know that I've made an impact in the kitchen.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely like put a little bit of paranoia in me. You know, it's made me a bit conscious. Like, you know, got this guy on social media going on about rice all the time. Wash your rice. Do it. You know, I'm like, oh shit.
Listen,
fuck.
People have the audacity. People have the audacity to dictate how other people should behave, but won't wash the damn rice.
It's a simple act of culinary preparation, man. Just fucking do it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. If you start simple by washing your rice, opportunities, you know, you're on your way. You're on your way to being a better human being.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, just the last question for this podcast there, Ty. Solo album. Talk to me. Right,
yeah. So I just posted a status, earlier on. Yeah, the last album that I did, or mixtape, was 4 years ago. Called Badly Drawn, which is kind of how we kind of like met kind of through that. I remember you kind of reaching out to me and kind of saying your praises about that. So thanks, man.
Resto Radio.
Yeah. And then you kind of like promoted me and I spoke about it and stuff. And I wrote a project about a year and a half ago, and it's kind of just been on hold because of Ruptcha Farms, really, kind of just being abandoned, getting our EP out. We're taking a break through the summer, so I am going to start recording properly the solo album. It's called Typola. Kind of similar with Badly Drawn. So last one that I made, it was, I only put it out on SoundCloud, but it's kind of a very reminiscent project where I'm kind of speaking about my upbringing and kind of alternating between sounds and doing all that. And I've often said to you, Anna, that I kind of like fell out of love with it like really quickly. And that's probably my fault because of how I made it. I do think the content in it's really good, especially the writing. But I kind of, just the way that I made it, I kind of rushed it, didn't really take much time on some of the songs. So I'm doing the opposite with this one. And I'm just trying to like, you know, I write quite a lot. I write a lot. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to do it in the classic way of writing loads of songs and then just picking favourites, something that I'm really invested in, and then recording and going through the motions. So I'm trying to like provide myself some structure so I don't fall out of love, because I get really bored easily, man. I don't know if you similar.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's like I'm very much on one thing to another, me. I think this is probably like, I've always produced, I've always done like beats, but I've never really done much with them. I've always like, might put like one beat up a year on SoundCloud, you know. This is the most music I've ever made in my life. I've literally made probably about 7 times as much music in the last month than I have in my entire life.
Yeah. Do you think it's down to like, I don't know, maybe a bit of when you start rapping or MCing for the first time, you have that proper, like, the creative wheels are constantly spinning, and it's kind of like a period, like a probation period, where you're just banging out so much fucking songs. And do you think it's kind of that? Do you think it's going to simmer down eventually?
Oh yeah, of course. I think now I've sort of got it out of me what I wanted to, like, that sort of like, it's almost like feels like catching up. Yeah. In a weird way. Some stuff I would do differently, but for me, like, pointing out that it was very cathartic and it was all part of my sort of journey as a person.
That's good. Yeah.
I know it's like the content's it's quite cryptic, you know.
Yeah. No, that's what I like about it, man. I like your kind of writing style. Because I like writing in imagery a lot, and I've done that quite a lot with and definitely with the Typola project that I wrote, I do like writing in not I won't say cryptic, but just in a way to help me kind of articulate different areas of my health. That's kind of what Typola is built from. I've had a really, like a lot of people have had over the past few years, I've had, you know, quite a rocky period, and you know, through with illnesses and whatnot.
Yeah.
And with that kind of just sparks, you know, my emo tendencies to kind of just go in. But I've enjoyed writing it, so I am excited to kind of record. So far so good. But yeah, that I'm gonna hopefully release that end of the year. Yeah, end of the year. Kind of do it properly in terms of get a single or two out.
Take a flight.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. Still the similar sounds of alternating, you know, kind of keeping it that, doing in and out of different sounds. But I think it's way more creative than the last one that I did.
Yeah, sick, man. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
we've been waiting for, I mean, we've obviously had Ruptcha Farms and that, but we've been waiting for some more radical.
Oh, that's nice to know. Yeah, it'll be nice to kind of put some content out. I mean, I've put bits and pieces out. So I did a song, which I can see behind there. Yes, I can see knackered. Yeah, I did a song. I only posted it on my socials. I'm just kind of rapping it in the studio, but that was going through a period where got diagnosed with a chronic illness.
Oh, right.
And it was just like the aftermath of that. So I kind of wrote kind of just the classic kind of A to B of no chorus, just kind of like rapping kind of feelings, and that got a really fucking good response. And I think that kind of like sparked me. I went, right, let's get Typola recorded, because I finished it quite a long time ago. But yeah, I don't know. One thing I'm looking forward to doing it is because I always used to, especially Badly Drawn, I wrote from a reminiscent standpoint. So it was always a lot of kind of stuff that I've gone through in like childhood, and I write a lot about where I grew up and kind of my oppressive like background and whatnot. But this is quite current. You know, it's quite current. It's mature. It's more mature. So yeah, I'm excited to like, you know, share it with you and, you know, other listeners that are kind of interested in that side of kind of my music and that. So it should be fun.
Big up, Tyty.
Yes. And with I'm looking forward to kind of getting RF on. You know, I didn't want to delve too much into kind of the RF side of things, because I think, you know, I want the boys to kind of speak up, and we'll do it together. But we are preparing to release a single in the next coming months, which I'm excited about. It's not creatively, it's not so different. It's just different to what we've done in the EP. So I'm looking forward to hearing that as well.
Yeah, boy. Where can I find you?
Ruptcha Farms. Right, so Ruptcha Farms. You can follow us on the socials. RUPCHA Farms. So not, yeah, Ruptcha. That's how you spell Ruptcha. RUPCHA Farms. Yeah, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, solo-wise, at Tyty Package, TYTY Package.
Sorry, just a quick one before we finish. Are you a massive Abe's Odyssey fan?
Yeah, it's my favorite. You see, there's only a few people that have kind of like, you know, kind of like, oh, hang on a minute, is that from Abe's Odyssey? But yeah, it's my favorite. Yeah, it's probably my favorite game. That and Metal Gear Solid 1 are my favorite like PS1 games.
Take a flight.
Yeah.
So great games. Check them out. PlayStation 1 classics. We've been an absolute honour. Tyty Package, Radical, aka Mr. Ruptcha Farms.
Pleasure, mate.
Welcome back. Any episode except episode 9, 10, 11 or 12.
Fair enough, mate. No, pleasure to be on here. I've enjoyed having a little chinwag and that.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully people, you've enjoyed me waffle. Until next time.
Fabulous episode. as usual. Yeah, thank you very much for coming on, and yeah, see you on the next one. And also, before we finish, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, people, like, share, and subscribe.
Right, take a flight. Bye.